So at this point, what we are going to do is we are going to add roles to our app following the steps that we just discussed. And to make this a little easier for you, I am giving you the code that we just took a look at. So the first thing that we are going to do is create our role controller. So this is going to go with all of our other controllers. And we're going to call it role controller. Okay, and then we're going to replace that code with the code that I'm giving you. So you can just kind of copy and paste it right in there. Then we're going to do our index view. So in views, we do need a role folder. Okay, so we're going to add role here. And then we're going to add an index view. And we're going to take the code that I'm giving you for that. Kind of copy and paste. And so this is just getting that data from identity role, getting that data and displaying it in a table. And when we first pull this up, there aren't going to be any roles. So there's not going to be anything to display. Then we need to do our create. So this is going to be create. And we've got code for that as well. Okay, so this is going to be the form. The only thing that we're going to be entering is a name for the role, and then we will be submitting that. The ID is going to be generated, and when we get back to the index, we will see the ID and the name. Okay, so that actually was the easy part. Next, we need to modify. You have to find it up here. Let's see, register.cshtml.cs. Okay, so this has got a lot of comments in it, as you can see. And there's code that we don't need because we are not using email and some of the other things that they have in here. So we're gonna copy what I have in here. And you can see it is fairly lengthy, and this is what we just looked at. I'm gonna go ahead, copy all of this. Paste it on top. And then the file that's above that. So this is the code behind, okay? And then register is the form. So this is the form when we go to register, this is the form that displays. And so basically we're going to copy and paste here as well, but all we're really adding to this is a little drop-down list. Okay, so here is that. And now we're going to modify the program CS file, which you guys do not get to copy and paste, you have to type. So under add DB context, let's see. All right, so right now under add DB context, we have something for default identity, and this has to change. So, you can either do what I did and comment it out, or you can just modify and replace it. So this is identity user, comma. Let's see, identity role. Okay, so it's gotten smart and filled some of that in for me, which is awesome. So we've got options dot sign in dot require confirmed account equals true. And then we've got the right parenthesis, but we're going to be adding on to this. So we've got dot add default UI dot add entity framework stores. Let's see, entity framework stores, application DB, that is all correct. And then we've got dot add default token providers. And then we can end it with the semicolon. Then we've got add controller with views. And below that, we are going to add in the authorization services. So builder.services.add authorization. Options. Little curly brace. Options.add policy. And we talked about this in the previous video. We're going to be adding a read and write policy to our role controller. That is going to affect which users can read pages and which can update the pages. And basically, we're letting all of them read, but we're only going to let managers and administrators write. Root builder, require role. Kind of important that you spell these right here. Otherwise, it's not going to work very well. Keep that in mind. And then we've got our semicolon. And we need one here too. All right, just double checking my spelling. Okay, so that all looks good. Going to go ahead and save everything and run a build. Okay, so the build looked good, and I'm going to run the app. Now, I have not put in the read or the write policy, so I don't need to be logged in or registered to do this. Once we add the read and write policy and we assign those roles, then yes, I'm going to have to be logged in and I'm going to have to be an administrator or a manager. But to put the data in the first time, you don't want those read and write policies implemented yet. So I'm going to do a slash role create. And I'm going to key in administrator. Okay, so that's the ID and the name. Do another one, manager. And we'll do the third one, Okay, so now I have those. So I'm going to exit out of here. And I'm going to go ahead and go into my role controller. And if you remember, let's see. Let me see. I've got to do the authorize above the index. So that's basically going to be all of our anybody can view it. Oop. Assuming they know how to get there. But only administrators and managers can do any kind of updates. Okay, so we've got the read policy and the write policy. Let me save this. And it doesn't look like I need the using statement because it's already in there. Okay. So let me run a build. And then we're going to run this. And I'm going to log in. Let's see. Oops, edu. Helps if you spell things right. All right, so I'm going to click on this. And the first thing we're going to do is delete this one. Okay. Now I am going to create a new account, and this is going to be an administrator. Administrator. It's really important that you click to confirm. And I'm going to do 2 more. And for each of the other roles. I will do Shaggy. And we'll have him be a manager. Okay, so now I have 3 users. And I'm going to exit out of here.